Okay, I've got my notes here in front of me. Let's see if we can do this. Hi, I'm JD, and welcome to my vlog. This is update number 4 in the vlog series where I'm writing a book from idea to publication here on my vlog. What I have managed to do since my last update is to plot books 1 through 3. There's still a few holes here and there in the plots, but those tend to flesh themselves out once I start the outlining phase. So I'm not too worried about that. Book 3. This book has been giving me a little bit of trouble, mostly because it's slightly different from the others and it's driving me nuts. It's different enough that I'm not sure it should be in the series. I think the story is still relevant, so I've been going back and forth about it. Book 3 is supposed to be about Hazel, and she's the youngest of the sisters. She's still in high school. So that would technically, with her being the main character of that book, pushes it into the young adult genre versus the adult genre that the other books are in. Which, paranormal romance, young adult, that's fine. That's actually a very popular genre, but it doesn't really fit in with the other books. I still want to tell her story. I think it's still very pertinent information to the series. So I'm gonna change it up a little. I'm gonna take her book, I'm gonna move it to the very beginning, and I'm gonna make it a prequel. And it's not going to be as long as the others. That will be anywhere from 18,000 words to 40,000 words. And then I will have the rest of the books be anywhere above 40,000 words. I'll probably aim for about 65. So I've plotted books 1 through 3, moved book 3 to a prequel, and yeah. Now, what else have I done? I've moved on and done a little bit of world building, and what I've done is I've worked on settings. And I haven't done too much besides picture a few places in my mind, just so that I have a clear list of where some of these scenes I was thinking of take place. I've picked the location, which I mentioned last time. Characters, I have kind of made a list of all the important characters, pretty much. Factions. Now, since it's about witches, and there's other supernaturals involved too, I've thought about factions and how those factions interact with each other, who's in charge, the line of succession for each of those groups, and what the kind of inner workings and whatnot. And then I thought a little bit about how the magic system takes place. So how each of those factions were created, how those supernaturals came to be, and other little details like that. Those details may not come up in the story, but it's good to have how that's all come about in my mind, so that way I can keep it consistent while I'm writing and I don't go back and forth saying, oh, well, it did this, and then in book 2, no, I contradict it and say they did that. Anyway, just having that clearly laid out, even if it doesn't come up in the book, it's just good information to know in the beginning. So that's pretty much what I've done so far, and I'm still I haven't done as much as I wanted to do this month, but I have gotten through and done a lot. Next, I'm going to be moving on to my phase outlines. Phase outlining. It's intense and it's very in-depth, but it's amazing and insanely helpful for my writing process. I honestly cannot remember how I came across this information. It may have been the NaNoWriMo forums. It may have been another writing group online. I'm not sure how I ended up on this website, but I did, and it's just been amazing. I found an article online somehow called It's Just a Phase by Lizette Gifford. In it, she details how she uses a phase outline and how she sets it up for each of her books. I'll link the actual website article down below so that way you can see it. What it is exactly is you write out key phases of what will happen in the next set of lines of your book. More detailed than a scene-by-scene outline, and it's worked out in much shorter sections. It could be cues to the dialogue, what that section focuses, it might be a little bit of description, a list of actions for the characters, anything that'll move the story forward another few hundred words. Usually a phase will only run from 20 to 50 words in the outline, go to a couple hundred words in the actual draft. So I did this method for a NaNoWriMo book back in 2015, and it was insane. I want to say my outline, the phase outline, came out to be about 15,000 words for my 50,000 word novel, but I also won Nano that year. It kept me moving forward. I made all the hard decisions in my outline before Nano came, so it was awesome. Anyway, long story short, I will be going into phase outlining next. I want to phase outline those 3 books, the first 3 books in the series, before I start drafting any of them. I feel like I might be going about this in a slightly roundabout way, but overall, I think working like this and getting all 3 books plotted, then moving and doing all 3 book outlines, and then going through and doing all 3 book drafts, and then going back, it'll tie the books a little closer together, and I'm not going back and forth. It may not be the best way in the end, but that's what I've got to figure out for myself. So like I said, next I'm going to be working on my phase outlines of these first 3 books, the prequel and then the 2 following books. I will also probably start looking at doing 3-act structures for the rest of the books, kind of work on those simultaneously. Once I get the phase outlines done, then I will move on to drafting, but I'm not really expecting to get to the drafting phase until April. Oh my god, that's a long time from now. Anyway, so I guess that's it. So next week I'll come back with a goal check video, and I will check off all the goals that I managed to meet this month. I will list all the books I read this month as well, and then I will also be listing my goals for next month. If you liked my video and would love to see others like it, please check out my Patreon page, and if you want to check out some of my work, you can check me out on Wattpad. All those links are listed below. With that, I'll see you next time. Bye!